This program contains true stories of rescues. All of the 911 calls you will hear are real. Whenever possible, the actual people involved have helped us reconstruct the events as they happened.
In horse racing, the stakes are so high, you often have to dare to risk all, to dare to be good. On May 30th, 1988, 9 races were scheduled at Belmont Park Raceway, New York, featuring top jockeys from around the country.
Anybody who's involved with horses knows it can be a dangerous endeavor.
Jockeys are exposed to all sorts of injuries. We're dealing with people running at 35 miles an hour. Broken bones are commonplace here.
One of the jockeys riding that day was 24-year-old Richard Migliore.
Richie's nickname when he rides is Hard Rider because he's so gritty and tries so hard all the time.
I just have to pray every day that when he goes out in the morning, he'll come back at night and he'll be fine.
Well, Richie, looks like you got a good chance there.
In the first race, Richard was by number 7, Maladar, whose trainer was Winky Cox.
Madame Maladar was ready to win. Condition-wise, she was good. She looked like her temperament in the pack was good. And we really expected a big race from her. Richie and I discussed the run that day. Richie knew the filly because he'd been on her. When they called for the riders to get up, I gave Richie a leg up and patted him on the boot and said, good.
Was Morty Rosen.
Watching races through binoculars is watching a group of horses. You never focus in on any one horse because at any point there could be a spill.
Were down. He was the first MT on the scene.
You okay, Chris? I got to Chris after he laying on his back. His eyes open, but his eyes were rolled back in his head.
Go see Richie, he's her bed. I said, don't bother me, don't bother me. I'm fine, get Richie and get Chris.
Richie, Carla, get me sandbags and roll. Richard? Looking at Richard, he was unresponsive to me. He was totally unconscious.
Richard's wife, Carmela, got a call from the track.
There was a voice, and he said, there's just been an accident. Richie's gone to the hospital. It looks bad. And I just flew out of the house.
I got him. I got him.
Along with another less seriously injured jockey, Richard was packaged for transport to the hospital 10 miles away.
Of course, any jockey life's first fear is paralyzation. And I remember feeling happening to Richard. Racing is all that he had done since he was 15 years old, 7 days, 365 days a year.
Caught up with the ass en route to the hospital.
Rich, I see a car behind us. It looks like Carmela. Richard was coming in and out of consciousness. Richard couldn't remember what colored car he owned or whether he was married. Your wife, Carmela?
Within 10 minutes, they arrived at the hospital.
I saw Richard hurt and crumpled almost. I was devastated.
Rich, my name is George. I'm going to be taking care of you. You lose consciousness?
Long Island Jewish Hospital. Richard was examined by physician's assistant.
Who you are?
Yes.
Tell me.
Richard.
You know what day of the week this is?
Mr. Migliore had sustained facial injuries. He was complaining of neck pain, right arm pain. The concerning thing was he was complaining that he was having this in his lower extremity, his waistline, which would correlate to possibly a significant neck injury.
I remember distinctly thinking, this could be the end of life as we know it to this point, as far as riding, as far as having children, as far as having life that we had dreamed of. The more he thought about the pain, the more fearful I got. We finally did get him into X-ray, and that's sort of when everything started really turning downhill.
Dr. Weber, we just had a 24-year-old gentleman jockey taken in from Elmont to us.
Richard's neck was broken. Dr. Arthur Weber, a specialist in injuries, was called in to take over his care.
It looked like the bone was extending into the spinal cord, and Richard's injury was such that he was millimeters away from becoming a quadriplegic.
Dr. Weber told me he would never walk again. That to me it was almost like I heard a boom in my head. It was so frightening to hear those words.
Mr. Migliore, do I have your consent to go ahead? I could in no way guarantee them that the surgery would be successful. In fact, I'm required to tell them that the operation can make everything worse.
The delicate surgery took 3 hours.
I was sitting in the operation, waiting, and I saw him walk out the doors, and I sort of ran up to him. He had a big smile on his face, and he said, I remember his exact words were, I know what it's like for you guys to win the Kentucky Derby. Because, we just won the Kentucky Derby where Richie's concerned.
That was his right leg.
I was so elated after that. I felt like everything was going to be okay then. But of course, only half the battle.
Is it okay there?
It was more traumatic to me mentally, even though I had a lot of physical discomfort. Mentally, it hurt me a lot more. I went from being this fit athlete, this person that makes his body, and now I can't lift 5 pounds.
Start with your right leg. Right leg. Use your arms to help with left. That's it. Move your arms forward one at a time.
Doctors told Richard that if he could ride or even walk again, he faced at least a year of grueling rehabilitation.
Okay. Let's stop for a second. Tell me if it gets better. Do you take a few deep breaths?
I just felt like I could do it quicker. And once they told me that I would be able to ride horses again, if that's what I chose to do, there was never any doubt in my mind that's what I wanted to do.
Right. Okay.
On Thanksgiving Day of 1988, just 6 months after his death, Richard Migliore beat the odds and returned.
The fact that here I was back, I was doing it. All the doubts were washed away, all the feelings like that I might not ever make it when you're going through the pain. And now here you're on this horse and you're 5 lengths in front and you're back. It's you. It's what you always wanted to do, and it wasn't taken away from me.
Rick Migliore aboard Glimmer Glen in front.
I remember crying. I remember feeling so happy and so proud of Richard. He had pulled it all off, and that he had made it.
I think the EMTs did a fantastic job. Everybody in the hospital that took care of me on the floor, and especially Dr. Weber. I'll always feel very special affection to Dr. Weber because I feel like he put me back together. But without Carmela, I can honestly say I think I would have made it back. My wife is an incredible person, and she's my best friend.
I think most people, wouldn't have made it back. But then again, most people aren't jockeys. They're a very rare breed.